Hey, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another 10 Minutes with Paul Short on June 23rd, 2023. Hope you're enjoying your Friday afternoon. Hope you have some fun weekend plans with friends and family. Today, I want to talk about a common theme that I see with many generations of leaders and humans. Many of my clients share this common theme, and they're in search of, right, four things: fulfillment, connection, value, and satisfaction. Many people, many of you, many of myself included, are looking for four things: fulfillment, satisfaction, value, and connection. And so often, I often get the question, what does this look like practically in 2023? What does this look like in this journey? And it's really this idea of flipping the narrative from one perspective of value to another perspective of value, right? So it's the idea of going from visible value to this idea of invisible value. So let me unpack that a little bit, right? Visible value, what are we looking at? We're looking at trophies, we're looking at titles, we're looking at status, right? The idea of chasing trophies, chasing titles, and chasing status, right? That's creating a culture of going after what I call visible value, right? And what we find out is that's short term, right? What we find out is that that's not sustainable, right? And so many of my clients, many of us were on this journey to say, hey, how do I go from visible value to this idea of invisible value, right? And invisible value, what are we chasing? What are we seeking after? We're seeking after wholeness, satisfaction, value, fulfillment, and connection, right? Authenticity. Authentic value, authentic connection, authentic fulfillment, right? And so what we're doing is we have to give ourselves permission to do three things, right? One, we have to cultivate a culture of rest. Whoa, a culture of rest. Now, we're not talking about pillows and we're not talking about recliners. We're talking about a culture of rest. So what is rest? For me, rest is a posture. It's a posture, right? So what is going to bring you rest? Rest should be replenishing. Rest should give you permission to reset and refuel. Boom. Right? This culture of rest should give you the ability to be replenished, right? It should give you the ability to reset and should give you the ability to refuel. Bam! A culture of rest, right? How do you define rest for you, right? Outside of your day-to-day transactions, outside of your crisis, right? Outside of the storms of life, right? What brings you rest, right? And rest always adds value to your journey, right? You know when it's authentic rest, when it adds value to your journey. Bam! Right? And so what we want to do first and foremost is cultivate a culture of rest where we're moving from visible value to invisible value, right? Number two is we want to really cultivate this idea of healthy curiosity, right? We are designed to learn from one another, right? Humans are designed to learn from one another. So you want to cultivate a healthy curiosity. You want to cultivate a healthy desire to learn about stories, right? What is your story? How did you land here? How did you arrive here? We need to be cultivating a healthy curiosity and identifying each other's stories, right? Which lends to, right, this idea of discovery and ownership. Bam, right? Discovery and ownership, right? Each human is designed to have a source of life, right? SOL, a source of life, right? What is your source of life? Do you have a source of life? Right? And that starts with a seed in the ground to cultivate a healthy curiosity. Healthy curiosity leads to, right, stories, which leads to, right, illumination to a source of life. And a source of life, right, is what drives our wholeness, is what drives who we are. Right? So number one is, are you cultivating a culture of rest? Right? Number two, to move from visible value to invisible value, right, you need to cultivate healthy curiosity, right? Giving yourself permission to go on this journey of a source of life. And then number three, right, this is what sets the journey apart, right? It's identifying a champion, identifying champions, right? So I have this visual I want to show you, right? So the question is, who is your champion? Who is your champion, right? And then quite honestly, who isn't your champion, right? Who isn't your champion? So here's a visual that I use often, right? And what you want to do is identify, right, who is your champion, right? Who's going to have your back? Who's going to champion who you are, right? And who's going to defend you and protect you and champion you honestly and authentically and genuinely, right? And so what we got to do is saying, okay, are the people in my inner circle championing who I am, right? And so the process sometimes looks like this, right? Is these people in here, and these people in here, and these people in here, right? Do they belong in this circle? I might care about them, right? I might have a high value for their friendship. I might have a high value for the history that we have together, right? But are they going to champion me authentically and honestly, right? Are we going to work through conflict? Are we going to do it with integrity, right? And what I've found is that the art of identifying who is in this inner circle and who needs to be out of the inner circle is really the difference between somebody who is moving from visible value to invisible value, right? Who needs to be in the inner circle and who needs to be, right, gently and lovingly set boundaries, right? What boundaries need to be set around my journey, around what I want and where I'm going, right? Absolutely, right? Are you listening to the right voice? Are you listening to the right voices, right? Maybe it's time for you to consider what voices you're listening to from your friends and families, your colleagues, your neighbors, those you think should not be in your inner circle. And maybe it's time to find a champion that is truly, honestly, authentically going to champion who you are and where you want to go and what you want, right? So hey everybody, it's great to have you here for another 10 minutes with Paul Short, right? We're looking at how to move from visible value to invisible value, right? Invisible value is fulfillment, satisfaction, value, and connection. And so we're going to look at 3 items. 1, are you cultivating a culture of rest? Number 2, are you cultivating healthy curiosity, right? And number 3, right, who is your champion, or who are your champions, right? So important. Hey, if you have any questions, shoot me an email, shoot me a text, shoot me a line on this YouTube. My name is Paul Short. It's a pleasure to have you here on another 10 Minutes with Paul Short. Bye-bye.